Welcome back to A Roman Racing, and in today's video we are going to be figuring out what is wrong with the GTR engine. If you guys are new to this channel, you won't know that I just picked up a GTR for a pretty good deal, but the GTR is not currently running. So today I'm going to be doing my own compression test. I'm going to be figuring out what compression each cylinder has. It's already pretty much has the spark plugs already off. The only thing I'd have to do is just put the gauge in, crank it, and pretty much figure it out to see. I want to see what numbers each cylinder has and to see if it's way worse than I thought. What I'm really hoping that it's not really bad, and it's maybe could be, hoping, crossing my fingers, that it's just the head gasket, so I don't have to do much to the engine and actually get it running as soon as possible. So for those who haven't seen my GTR, this is my 1991 R32 GTR that I got for a very good price. Everything looks good so far. If you haven't seen me picking up the GTR or actually going around the GTR, just go back a couple videos, and I have videos of the GTR when I just first got it. Also, this is going to be, this is the engine. I just got this battery. I had to I couldn't find like the JDM battery, and I needed a battery like ASAP. So I got that battery, changed the little plugs here and there. And then this is the engine. It already came with the spark plugs off. So the only thing I really have to do is just unplug the cam sensor, so I get no fuel and no spark. And then do the compression check, and hopefully it's not as bad, and maybe we can fix it even quicker or faster and get it running, I don't know, sometime in the near future. So I made this little doodling little circles right here and make sure that so I can write down my PSIs or my pressure from each cylinder right here. So don't mind the 6 one, it's kind of halfway. I couldn't fit all 6 with my little. Anyways, but yes, so once I start doing a compression check, I will write down each pressure for each cylinder and see. This is kind of for my records for later on to see what my next course of action would be. So I've never actually done a compression check before in my life, so this is going to be the first time, but I've watched plenty and I've asked people plenty of questions and everything. It doesn't seem, it's not hard at all. It's just pretty much unplugging the crank sensor, plugging in my gauge, and then crank it 3 to 5 times, and we call it a day. So I'm going to start putting the gauge in on cylinder number 1, and go from there all the way to the back and hope for good numbers. I mean, I don't think we're going to have great numbers, but let's see how it goes. All right, so moment of truth. Make sure it's on. All right. Doesn't seem like it's cranking. Look at that. That is 30 something. Let me try that again. Yep, 30, pretty much. 30 on cylinder number 1. All right, let's try number 2. All right, let's see number 2. we go, a little bit more. 50, 50, 50. Let's see, 50. Let's try that one more time. Yep, same thing, 50. Alright, I'm going to keep going on the next ones, and I'm going to tell you what the end numbers results are. Look at my face. I think this face will tell you that there's any good news, because there are no good news in this engine. And it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's a little bit worse than I thought it would have been. So I had like a little, you know, bet with my buddy. My buddy said that we're gonna just be low compression, and I told him there was gonna be zero compression. Guess who won? So this is my little, you know, my little sketch right here. You guys see it right here. There's 0, 0, 0. There's 40, 50, 30. So it starts in 30, goes to 50, and then 40, and then all last 3 cylinders are on 0. Completely 0. It doesn't hold any tiny bit of pressure. So what did that tell me? I got no idea. Those are our engine experts, because I've never actually worked internally with an engine, and I've never really done, you know, head gaskets. I pulled motors before, but I just swapped motors. That's pretty much it. So I'm not an expert on what the cause of it is. You know, I think I'm smart enough to kind of figure, you know, give some hypotheses of what could it be, you know, but I won't really know until I actually pull the motor. But if you guys are like experts and you see those numbers, what do you think that it is the major problem of it? So if you know, just leave me that comment below so I can actually, you know, kind of like gather all the stuff that could be, so when I pull the motor, I'm kind of expecting what could be. So with those news, even though I was gonna I already had plans to pull the motor out, so it doesn't make me even like, it doesn't make it worse, because I was already planning to pull the motor out. So this is for sure, I am pulling this motor out so I can actually get it fixed, and then I'm doing it myself. And I am so ready that I actually have the RB26 manual pretty much, or the R32 manual actually, but you know, you understand R32 is a RB26. So this is the manual for the R32. I actually printed everything out, so I have everything in here in detail. Engine is right here, and then even tells me pretty much like even to do the compression check, which is different here than what I did there. It's you gotta have like actual warm up. It actually has to be running the way it says it here, because you have to have it warmed up, and then you pull the fuel pressure gauge off. I mean, not the gauge, the fuse off, and then do that. But it's just easier to just pull the crank sensor off, and then it won't throw spark or fuel into the cylinders. So here it's pretty much everything that I need to do. See, that's the cylinder right there, head gasket, all that stuff. This is the little thing that I'm going to be following in the next, I don't know, months or however long I will take on this GTR. So it all depends on time management, also money. So I actually gotta get myself a engine hoist and then an engine stand, so I can start doing all this stuff. And I lifted up all that stuff, and you know, start getting this thing running. So once again, number one thing that I have to do in the GTR is actually make it run, and it's not nothing else. I can't think about anything else until I get this GTR running and I can actually drive it on its own. So I gotta get this GTR fixed with wasting as least of the money that I can, and budget friendly, whatever. So yeah, that's gonna be happening in the coming months, weeks, months, years, I don't know. But hit that subscribe button and follow this build, because it is happening. It is happening. So this is actually where I'm going to be ending the video for today. Next video will be actually starting to tear this thing apart to get the engine out. I don't know how long I'm going to take. This is going to be the first time pulling any other motor that is not Subaru motor or Mini Cooper motor. I've done that before. So I've done Subarus, I've done Mini Coopers, and it's going to be the first time with the GTR. And I hope it's not hard or as hard as other engines, or the Mini Cooper was the worst of all. Don't do Mini Coopers. I hate Mini Coopers. So if you like this video, just give me a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing for more videos like this, and they are going to happen. I suggest you to keep following, and I got big plans for the GTR, but first make it run. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.